The first ever Kia K4 seamlessly combines bold style and advanced tech. With striking star map LED headlights and an available panoramic display, the Kia K4 delivers design and function. The available surround view and blind spot view monitors can help provide added confidence. Plus, Sirius XM comes standard, bringing you closer to what you love. The Kia K4 balances aesthetics and innovation. Learn more at kia.com/K4. Surround view and blind spot view monitors may not detect all objects around or behind the vehicle.
This Thanksgiving, Butterball wants you to really connect. Let's get back to laughing around the table, sharing stories, and making memories. Let's talk like we used to. We'll help with the turkey so you can enjoy being together. Visit Butterball.com for turkey tips.
Ask me, ask Iliza anything. It's time to ask. Ask me all your questions. Leave them in the Instagram comment section. Leave them on your Twitter or leave them on your Facebook. We'll see them, we'll read them, then we'll give you answers. You know it, I've got it. I've got the answer, you ask me. I'll tell you anything.
Okay, we're back. This is our first episode back after our first live episode with an audience aired.
Correct. Yes.
The response has been adequate, but like all things, these things take time to build. I will say an extra 1,000 people subscribed to the YouTube channel.
Oh, well, the Patreon was very, very into it and excited. And here's what we did that's super fun, just so you know, because if you either only watched or listened, also do the other, because the video is a more fast-paced visual. It's about an hour.
Yeah.
The audio is an hour 40, and you can't see what's going on, but there's more pauses, there's more chit-chat, there's more, so two different
It's a lot of you
experiences.
driving your Subaru like, well, I want to know what they're laughing at. So if you watch the audio, watch the video, you'll be clued in. Best to listen to the pod, then go watch the visual to be like, that's what we were laughing at. I knew it.
Yeah.
We're very proud of it, and we're making updates. We have the second episode being cut up right now, and we are getting ready for that November 2nd taping. So come on down. A lot of people were
December
asking.
2nd.
What did I say?
November.
A lot of people, well, we all know that that's impossible because it's past that. A lot of people were asking how to get tickets, and so I was in the comment section just
Tagging
basically
me.
writing your name. Yeah, I don't really know.
Yeah,
How do they do it?
I'm getting a list pulled of people who've entered. You're buzzing now.
Okay, here I am.
Let's just stay laid back.
Folks, we're trying. Like overnight, the equipment was like, we're going to be different now. So sorry
and
about the buzz.
You did some really good tech. You pulled out a second microphone. You unplugged and plugged in the kit. You did everything I would have done if I was there.
You forget, I was burning CDs and downloading LimeWire, editing from camera to computer before you were even born, child.
I know. I do forget sometimes. Then you just like whip something out. Like you make your own little video movie. Now I
I went to film school. I was making SNL parody sketches when you were still breastfeeding at age 7. So just know.
I was always more Mad TV.
No.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Nat TV was also good, but it's not SNL. And that's okay. They were both good for different things.
Yeah. And I would stay up to watch that and not SNL.
We have also, I mean, I was sniffing around that Patreon. We've got updates. I know we do. We have No More Fight Me, RIP.
Yeah.
But we're always taking suggestions for new sections, for new segments. I have noticed a lot of podcasts doing the like, hey, girly girls, send us your questions. We'll do no prep and just talk because we're funny. But this is the best one. And we care the most. We're really actively working, spending money on doing this. And we love you. We love our community. Take it away, Emily Higgins.
The title of this is Shrew Wife and Husband Who Can't Say No. Hi.
Perfect.
I know. I was like, oh, yes, me. Love the pod.
You're
all
the
the
husband.
No, I'm the shrew. No. But I also can't say no. Love the pod and all the work you do. I absolutely adore your shows. My 32 husband, 32, is so kind and generous and social. The only issue, he gives and gives and gives. And his social circle doesn't reciprocate in the same way. Iliza, I feel like we have a lot of women who listen to this show that are just like, my husband, I do everything for him. I'm managing his photography business.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's a lot of women just trying to pull these men up by their bootstraps.
My husband's a hot beta.
Yeah. A lot of hot betas.
Trying to make my husband someone different than what I married. A lot of hot betas.
For years, he's coordinated birthday gifts, thrown parties, cooking and buying all the food with nary a Venmo payment, and put his friends up in our home. Most of these are people he's known from middle school, and for the most part, I'm fine with them. We live in a different cities, so see them a couple times a year, and I do like occasionally hosting. The particular issue is a friend, 34, who is asking to stay at our place with his dog and girlfriend for 5 days. I am no longer interested in hosting this person because he routinely uses his friends as dog sitters under the pretense of hanging out. He's also asking to stay with us during the week of my finals. I work full-time and go to grad school in the evening. I have no problem saying no to this. Not no because some excuse, just N-O. The problem is that 99% of these conversations happen between my husband and whoever is asking for the favor.
Which we always ask for, which we always suggest. Okay.
Yeah. I don't mind being blamed as the bad guy for why we can't do something, but I'm frustrated that my husband can't seem to set these boundaries himself. Moreover, tired of feeling like a shrew wife who hates his friends and hates fun. My husband doesn't say anything along these lines. My husband can't. But it feels like if I don't make a big scene, he and I, by proxy, will get taken advantage of. Do you have any advice? Do I need to back off and let him deal with these trends on his own? Am I falling into the meddling wife stereotype? Are there ways I can support him in refusing people that seem like they are, intentionally or not, taking advantage of my husband's giant heart? Thanks for everything, Anonymous. But it is a lady based on the name, if that helps. And she called herself a wife.
It's like on the one hand, you want to be like, who cares what anyone thinks? But when it comes to women, perception does impact our reality in a way that it doesn't for men. What do I mean by that? Oh, she seemed like she was a bitch, therefore we didn't include her. She seemed like she was going to da-da-da, therefore we actually took an action, right? Nobody is saying that you're any of these things. This is part of like the generational scarring that we just have as women. You're like, I don't want to become that. I'm not understanding. So far, like it's just been people, like nobody thinks that. They stay with you guys. Your husband does everything. It is nice when someone comes in town to host them, to pay for things once in a while. So I would need to know the specifics. You're just kind of saying this guy who already takes advantage of people is like, hey guys, I'm in town with my shitty girlfriend. You're also too old to be doing this. It's one thing if your friend's coming in town for the weekend, but like you have enough money and you're old enough to travel, like get a hotel, get a Marriott, get a Courtyard Suites. They'll take your dog. All your husband has to do is say, she's got finals this week. She needs the room to study. Just say, he could just say no, and that should be it. But what you have to communicate to your husband is that he is putting the feelings and comfort of friends before you. And it's great that he handles it, but these need to be discussions. Yeah, we're available for 2 days to host. Yeah, we can do this. Hey, if we're going to throw a party, can everyone just Venmo $20? You know, you don't want to be cheap about it. But it should not always be on you. And I wonder if it is always. So I don't have all those details or how often it's been. You don't like this guy in the first place. You don't want to sit the dog, but you actually have a great excuse. So all your husband has to do, no one's owed an answer. And any man that's like, well, why not? Then you start to see their real character. So that's it. No, I don't have time for you and your strange girlfriend to like sleep in our living room with your mongrel dog while I try to study for something that will affect my life in 5 years and you will not be part of it.
Yeah.
So husband just says no and that should be good enough. Or you could just simply say she's got finals this week and it's really stressful, so we can't do it. That's it. And even if he gives that excuse, that's not a bad shrewish reason. It's not like you need to like keep it calm and meditate because you're being a real bitch. Like you're trying to study. It's an excuse I wish I could use more often.
I like that this question asker was like, I'm not going to give a reason. It's just no. Which we should.
Yeah,
it's no, fine. You can't stay. But I think
hey, buddy. we can't make it work this weekend, but we'd love to grab a drink on Sunday.
Yeah.
That's it. No man is going to be like, why not? And like I said before, if he does, then you know what you're dealing with. Because most men won't care. Most friends would be like, oh, okay. You said no. I accepted it.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
You're allowed to have a limit. And it's not about being like, I'm setting a boundary. But it's more about a discussion with your husband about like, well, let's decide what we're comfortable with. You don't want your husband to be taken advantage of because it's not attractive to see a man get taken advantage of. The other side is, do you have more money than your friends? Is it easier for you to host? Do your friends seem ungrateful? And those are just people you have to not be friends with anymore. I've definitely cut people out of I've definitely just like stopped reaching out to people that felt ungrateful.
Right. Because if we're saying like nary a Venmo, it's like, okay, but when they come over, do they bring a bottle of wine? Do they bring flowers? Do they thank you? Do they send you a card? Like there are different ways to show gratitude for you being a good host that aren't hosting in return, but it sounds like you're not getting any of that.
Well, also the Venmo thing is tricky because I would never, ever go to someone's house where I was invited to a party and then be like, can I Venmo you? No, this is not like a group thing where we all bought into something. So that we're kind of past that. That's a very like 20-something thing. Like, let's Venmo for the jungle juice. Like, I bought a 6-pack of beer.
I wonder if hot beta husband is just like out and he's like, oh, like let's get pizzas. He's like, I'll order that. Like, I just feel like he's just constantly like picking up a tab.
This is part of hosting. This is I would need more info on that. When Noah and I do parties, like we just buy a lot of food. We would never say, hey, can you guys pay us? Because that's why you're hosting.
I want to break down the behind the scenes of this show real quick, Iliza, because you just said you want more info on that. If someone were to actually write back in and say, well, he split a pizza. You don't want me to read that update because what are we going to do with that? Like, I think at a certain point, you submitted your question. We have the info we have. Unless there's a life-shattering revelation, certain info being written in. Because these people are writing in there like, I've got to follow up. But I'm like, cool, I'm not reading that on the air because great, it went good. Right. That's not interesting. Not saying you all are not interesting, but, we're trying to make good radio.
If your lack of information renders the question unanswerable, like answer incomplete, then we can get context later.
Or you feel shafted by the answer.
No.
Okay.
Because what I say is absolute and it's often right.
Absolute.
So, and if you don't get the answer you like, perhaps you need to write a better question.
I think regardless of what this man is buying and what his friends are giving him, the wife is using this friend as the first test case of how can my husband set boundaries? Tell him to say no.
Well, this friend is the least grateful and just say no and that will be that. And the friend's reaction will be indicative of the type of friend this person is.
Yeah.
I've noticed that, at least since I've had my babies, that I smell differently when I sweat. Maybe I'm just like getting older. I don't know, but I smell differently. And I don't love that. If I'm on set or if I'm on stage or if I'm doing anything like functioning in public and I don't want sweat stains or to be aware of my stinky pits, that's when I turn to Lumi Whole Body Deodorant because it keeps me smelling fresh all day. Lumi is seriously safe to use anywhere on your body. Pits, under boobs, right ladies, thigh folds, belly buttons, butt cracks, your feet. It's clinically proven to block odor all day and control odor for up to 72 hours. How? Well, unlike certain traditional deodorants that may try to mask odor with a fragrance, Lumi is formulated and powered by mandelic acid to stop odor before it starts. Lumi's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid stick deodorant, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice like mini body wash or deodorant wipes, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get 15% off all Lumi products with our exclusive code. If you combine the 15% off with the already discounted starter pack, that equals over 40% off the starter pack. Use code Iliza for 15% off your first purchase at lumideodorant.com. That's code Iliza at LUMEDEODORANT.com.
The holidays are here. And for a lot of us, the holidays mean decorating, hosting, celebrating. For me, it means a lot of traveling, and nothing feels better year round, but especially during the cozy holidays, than a restful night's sleep in soft, luxurious sheets. Boll & Branch's signature sheets are made with the finest 100% organic cotton, and they get softer with every single wash. You already know that I got Boll & Branch this summer when I needed breathable sheets to sleep in, but this holiday season, I'm actually gifting some of my friends and family Boll & Branch's Ultimate Softness Bundle. I get to choose a signature hem sheet set in any color, a signature hem pillow set, and a waffle bed blanket. And they're all getting juniper because I think it's a classy color. This way, you know you have something nice to sleep on when you visit. It's the perfect gift for you and them. Gift you and your loved ones a better night's sleep with Boll & Branch. And right now is their best offer of the entire year. For 25% off plus free shipping on your first set of sheets, head to bollandbranch.com/Iliza. That's Boll & Branch, BOLLAND branch.com/Iliza for 25% off. Limited time only, exclusions apply. See site for details. So finally, fall is here. I have been looking forward to it. I have had a hard year in a good way. You know, like I had a baby. I have been on a nonstop tour, nonstop traveling, and it's been hot. So I'm looking forward to, of course, pumpkin spice, everything, cooler weather, and slipping into a cozy sweater from Quince. I've talked about Quince before. Quince has beautiful leather jackets, cotton cardigans, soft denim, and so much more. All Quince items are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Dressing expensive doesn't have to be expensive. Their clothing is beautiful, it's durable, it stands the test of time, and it's what I like to call a capsule wardrobe. I got an Italian wool cocoon coat. That's one of those, you know, it's got like a European collar and it covers my butt so I can walk around New York City and not be chilly. And Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices. Get cozy in Quince's high-quality wardrobe essentials. Go to quince.com/Iliza for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. That's QUINCE.com/Iliza to get free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/Iliza.
Okay.
Not in a while.
Oh, I think just because it's been like a couple weeks.
It felt good. Felt strong.
So someone posted on the Patreon with, you know, we're getting a lot of the same kinds of political questions. So we don't want to answer all of those, but I think this is.
I don't want to answer any.
Well, I know, but I think this is interesting because there's a specific to it, which is, I am a 50-year-old Black woman who is married to a white man that is 18 years my senior. My husband and I have been married for over 17 years. I moved to his home state when we were dating, so I naturally became friends with his friend group. I also have a lot of white friends that I've connected with locally. I can totally handle a difference in political opinion. I'm surrounded by daily and feel that it's one of the great freedoms of this country. On social media, namely Facebook, if someone was fanatical about their difference of opinion, I would simply unfollow them. It's honestly the fanaticism that annoys me, not the difference. However, my good friend Connie's husband, Joe, posted the attached image on Facebook. And I'm going to read you what it is in 1 second. It was a proverbial straw for me, and I deactivated my Facebook account. I'm really close with Connie since our friendship was developed outside of my husband. Joe has always been nice to me. Connie and Joe were at my 10-year vow renewal. We vacation at least once a year together in a large rental with other friends. Now, here is the image. It's one of those boomer text. It's just a bunch of text that's like blurry, like it's been downloaded and saved, and now it's just terrible. So, I never cared that you were gay until you started screaming at me. I never cared what color you were until you started blaming me for your problems. I never cared about your political affiliation until you started condemning blah, blah, blah. But now I care. My patience and tolerance are gone. I'm not alone in feeling this. Millions of us. It's just like a bunch of like, I didn't care until you made it my problem. Just stupid and hateful and weird. So not like the most racist thing I've ever seen, but just like not good. So Connie and Joe, we're at my 10-year vow renewal. We vacation once a year together in a large rental with other friends. I'm having a hard time looking past this and have kept my distance since. I don't feel like these words are political rhetoric, but instead homophobic racism. I wonder if Joe privately thinks that I'm not, quote, one of those kind of Black people, so it's okay to be my friend. Although Joe and I have a friendly relationship, I don't think it would be appropriate to approach anyone else's husband about an issue with his behavior. I also don't know what I would expect from Connie if I spoke with her. Would I want her to explain her husband's actions, apologize for him? I would assume she would defend him, which I would do for my man. I would also log into my husband's Facebook and delete this post if he ever did such a thing. I truly believe that even if I wasn't Black with a gay granddaughter, I would think this post would rub me the wrong way. Am I overreacting? Should I make every effort to move past this and just continue the friendship? If I address the situation, how should I do so? Usually you have to punch me in my nose to make me cry, but as I type this post, I seriously want to. And my Patreon name is just a screen name, so feel free to use it. This is Tex Meets Mass.
I think the part that makes me sad is that you deactivated your Facebook. So any joy you get from that social media platform, you don't now get. You don't get that serotonin hit because of this person's mostly mild post. Your bigger issue is, and you don't really know why he posted it, but we can, assume that he is echoing the sentiment of a lot of people that like had just kind of snapped, right? Just kind of had it. And I understand that to an extent, but you are taking it personally, which I get because I would too. You're like, well, chances are if you feel this way about those people, you probably kind of feel that way about my people. However, we all contain multitudes. And I appreciate that you are a Black woman with a gay granddaughter. Every single community has their issues with everything else. I think if you care about this friendship, I think what we are missing in this country is conversation. And I think it's very normal for someone to post something like that. He could have had I'm just making this up, a bad interaction with a drag queen that morning. And he saw this. We often post things screaming at the world when you're really just yelling at one person. And I think it's worth, first of all, no one has asked you, like, why'd you deactivate it? But I think it might be worth talking to him and let him to your face be like, yeah, I just felt, you're not going to get an answer that you like, but I do think it kind of calms things down. If this is someone that means something to you, if that friendship is worth salvaging, I had that with a friend who posted all this horrible stuff about what she thinks the word Zionist means and all this stuff. And when I texted her to be like, hey, I'm Jewish and I believe Israel has a right to exist, she deflected. She's like, this isn't the place, this isn't the time. I was like, you posted this for the world. And then when I pressed her on it, she like got nervous. She didn't have the answers, which makes me sad that we can't be friends anymore because I really could have explained the reality of a situation to her. She's allowed to not like Israel, but it hurt me. And I think had she stuck around to hear that, it would have changed her perspective. I'm sorry, had I not completely blocked her, it would have changed her perspective. So I just think if these people are worth something to you, because usually when someone posts something hurtful, they're like, I don't fucking care, fuck them. And we do a lot of this in our society, throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Oh, this person, like, they said they like Trump. Well, I fucking hate them. And it's like, all that does is continue to divide us. And I think you either will feel better when you talk to him or you guys will get somewhere. But this thing where we're all constantly slamming our doors, deactivating and not speaking, that's what people want. People want more of that so they can feed you their kind of news and we all stay hating each other. That's what I think.
I think the best you can hope for is that it comes from just complete ignorance, in which case it's not as much of a deal breaker, but it depends. Do you have the bandwidth? Do you want to teach him why that hurt you? Do you want to try to make him understand?
It's not about teaching. It's not about this.
Why that's not an okay thing to post? I think posting about anyone, I can't post and say that about anyone because it's not okay.
I don't like the word teaching because when we came out of Black Lives Matter, you weren't allowed to ask a question because it's like, it's not my job to teach you. It's like, well, it is your job to stand up for your feelings and explain something if you want to get a better result. And that is for anyone of any color, of any religion, of any perspective. If I want you to understand that Jews don't drink baby blood and that Israel has a right to fight back if attacked, I need to say that to you because you may be ignorant to it. But you're like, you and I are very different.
We are very different. We are very different politically. But I will just say, like, sometimes you're talking to someone and they're like, I think Jews drink baby blood. And it's like, okay, obviously you're wrong and I want to tell you wrong. But you know what? I don't want to. Why should I have to tell you wrong? I don't even want to talk to you anymore. So I get that instinct to just be like, I don't even talk to this person. I think this is an interesting one because if it was your friend Connie, you'd just be like, Connie, here's why that hurt me. Take it or leave it. But because it's Connie you're closer with and it's her husband, and you said you don't want to kind of go around her, but you also don't want her to have to speak for her husband. It's like, I think you have to go straight to Joe and just explain.
You got to go straight to Joe because Connie will be like, he's my king. I don't know what to do.
Or like, hey, it's not on me.
It's not on me. Right. I think if you care about Joe and you care about your own comfort, it's worth having this talk man to man with him. I really do feel that way.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it'll be weird. And then you'll say something weird one day and it'll just be weird and you're uncomfortable. And also, if we are strong enough and fucking brave enough, even though what he posted was seemingly innocuous, to make these posts public, we should be able to defend them.
Yes.
Or explain them in a conversation.
Yes.
You posted that. I just, it felt pointed, but I just want to know where you're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
And then he'll say, oh, it's whatever it is. And you can be like, well, and then however you took it, he'll be like, well, I can't help the way you took it. You're not going to get him to change his mind or anything. But what you can make is yourself heard, which is something that a lot of people don't get to do. And because he probably lives in an echo chamber, I'm guessing with very few people of color, I don't want to hear that you work with like a Mexican guy like that. No, very people of color, very few people on like a sexual spectrum. I'm sure he like lives in a certain type of world. If he's open to it and it's an elegant discussion, it just might help.
I'll make you a meme that you post that's like, I didn't care that you were a white man until you started posting pixelated shitty memes. Now I have a problem.
Yeah, do that. That'll really get to him, especially since she deactivated her account. Have at
Reactivate,
it.
post just that meme and then go dark.
Reactivate.
Okay, we have another money question because, this person even says like we answered one of their questions. I don't care. You know what? I try to be fair, but if it's a question I want to answer, I'm doing it. And this isn't.
Easy. All right.
You know what? We run this how we run this. All of you in the Patreon. I love you so much, but you all are like, now we have a say. You don't, but thank you.
Yeah, it's a free platform. This is still
You get what you get.
You don't really have a voice. We'll listen intermittently.
Right, exactly. But okay, I liked this because it's so specific. So, okay, I'm back for more money etiquette advice. I was the one asking if I should ask my stepmom to pay for my brother's Taylor Swift ticket or not. Interestingly enough, a day after I submitted that question, she randomly sent a Venmo. Okay, so see, that is an update by itself, wouldn't have gotten read because it had nothing to do with us and it's boring.
Yeah.
But
and no, you're right, because it had nothing to do with us. That's true.
So I am having my birthday at my favorite wine bar. And the wine bar charges $75 a head if you're doing the tasting, $30 a head if you aren't. There will be food though. I have a few friends that don't drink or are pregnant, but they initially still want to join. So I figured I'd cover the $30 since I feel bad for them to essentially pay a $30 cover fee to be in my presence and eat from a charcuterie board.
Nope. That's your birthday.
My two closest friends said absolutely not. If they want to be part of the day, they can pay the $30.
Thank you. Two closest friends are right. Moving on.
I privately messaged my friends that aren't drinking and said it'd be only $30 rather than $75 for them. At this point, I hadn't collected payment from anyone. I was just trying to get a rough head count to give the wine bar. When I first sent out invites, I did mention it was a $75 tasting, but didn't yet know the wine bar would have a fee for non-drinkers too. So I think we all just assumed it'd be free for them. Anyway, 3 out of 5 of my non-drinking friends said they'll pass and don't want to come anymore if they have to pay the $30. So
cool.
Is it tacky that I didn't front the $30 for them? The $30 is covering the food service the wine bar is supplying for the large group. So it's not like you're paying $30 to just sit there. I was also kind of surprised they opted out since we all have great paying corporate jobs and very frequently spend much more whenever we go out. Is a birthday person supposed to front all costs? I've actually never thrown myself a birthday party. Hold on, this is important that we're getting to this now. In my 25 years of life. So I genuinely do not know the etiquette. So let's guess that's the age of these other people.
Yeah, your 25-year-old friends don't know what the fuck they're doing. It's your birthday. And unless it's something extravagant and you're like, I want to go on this cruise, I'm paying for everyone's tickets. Although we did have a friend that did that on the show. And that was a mistake because her friend was a bitch, the military girl.
Oh, yeah.
It's sounding like you didn't convey that there will be food. And
well,
because
I think it's not food. It's like little snackies. Like
it doesn't matter. 2 drinks is $30.
Well, I know. It's like, I'm sure they also have like soda and stuff. Like, I'm sure they're not just like sit there and be parched.
The point is to celebrate you. And it's $30, but at 25, that is kind of a lot of money. And it sounds boring. Plus, if you don't drink, I do understand not wanting to go to a bar that is kind of boring. Think they just sound really young. I don't think you communicated properly. Hey, the $30 covers the food, the this, the that. It's also a wine bar, which means it's not a lot of space. They're making money off of the wine. And if these people are just sitting there, they need to like recoup a little bit of their money. So that's why they're charging it. Versus if you just had it at a bar and it was free, your non-drinker friends could still come. They could listen to music and hang out. So you're not wrong. Like they're not wrong for not opting out. You didn't give them the info, but also you should never be paying for your friends for your birthday. That's it.
Yeah. No, they could pay the 30 to hang out with you.
The option is what you do is you go with the friends that want to drink, have some snacks and wine, and then go meet everyone somewhere else. That's it.
Yeah. You're fine.
You're fine.
You didn't do anything wrong.
Now it's time for our new fan favorite, Animal Song.
Animal song, your mouth is so small. Animal song, I give it my all. Squeeze your body, I give you a kiss. Animal songs, this time I won't miss.
This one's coming to us from Holly. All this love from Birmingham. And this is to her cat, Tortellini. Oh, and see below a picture of her and her sister, Parmesan.
Tortellini, so teeny, not a meanie, just a leanie, beanie baby, a smidge crazy, but still my baby.
A tinny.
But does Parmesan not get a song?
Yeah, it's really hard to, I guess Parmesan could rhyme with stuff. Parmigiano, a tiny doggo. I guess it's a cat. I only do songs for dogs.
Every song you make has to have doggo or mouth.
Dog mouth, the thickest of all.
But
that was
isn't
beautiful.
that-
Thank you.
Isn't that like, that's what an animal song is?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's gibberish rhyming. And the animal is like, please let me go.
Can I tell you, the people, when we're getting confessions, and we're still doing confessions, so please keep submitting those.
Please.
We don't get that many, but we get them. We got some fight me's, not that many. We got some, but the amount of animal songs we've gotten so many. And yet on the boards, the people that I'm not listening to, the Patreon boards, they're like, animal songs, whatever. It's like, well, your brethren disagree because they're submitting them like crazy.
Such as what we're calling a democracy. Some people are going to be happy, some aren't. But at the end of the day, it actually is a monarchy because I make all the decisions with my loyal subject. What are you? You're not my subject. You're like the hand of the king.
Oh, can I be that little bald man with all the secrets?
The gay guy? Yeah, you can.
I think he's is he gay or is he a eunuch?
That guy was so gay with like the brooch and he was like kind of bitchy and like really rocked like a tunic.
Also, he was a eunuch, I believe.
Yeah, but they did that to everyone. So whatever.
Oh, thank you for your animal songs, everyone.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
I know being thankful is on everyone's minds, and with thankfulness comes gratitude, a concept that honestly really bothers me. I'm tired of thanking everyone else. You know who deserves a thank you? Me. You deserve a thank you. When's the last time you thanked yourself? Sometimes it's hard to remind ourselves that we are doing the absolute best we can. So here I am reminding you to send some thanks to the people in your life, but mostly send some thanks to yourself. And a great way to do that is with therapy. If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online. It's designed to be convenient, flexible, and it's suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire and you get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time, no additional charge. You don't have to travel anywhere. They take the hassle out of finding that perfect therapist. Let the gratitude flow with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Iliza today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Iliza. Fall has fallen. Winter is on its way. The days are shorter. But just because, they feel shorter. And just because the days feel shorter doesn't mean your to-do list gets any shorter. You still have to power through your busy days. And a great way to do that is with nutritious food from Factor's no prep, no mess meals. At the end of a short day in the fall or the winter, the last thing you want to do is have to cook. Factor has got you covered from breakfast, snacks, dinner, anything in between. Factor has easy, nutritious options to keep you fueled, like their chicken Florentine with spinach and garlic chili cauliflower. You bet
That's what I want to make myself at the end of a day where I am exhausted and my husband isn't home. Whether you like routine or you enjoy mixing things up, Factor has you covered with 35 different delicious meals every week and over 60 additional convenience options you can add on, like keto cookies, pressed juices, and smoothies. And because Factor meals are chef prepared and dietitian approved, you're going to love not only Factor's meals taste, but also how they support your goals, even if your goal was just making yourself dinner. Head to factormeals.com/Iliza50 and use code Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That's code Iliza50 at factormeals.com/Iliza50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next month while your subscription is active.
Okay, is it too early? Do you want me to save holiday questions for just like the weeks in December, or do you want to just sprinkle them in?
I think we need to do one, and I'll tell you why. I had a really bad, I'm fine, but I had a really bad morning personally. I'm just whatever happened.
Yeah.
And it shook me so badly that I came home and I just sort of started taking down all my Thanksgiving decor. And I wasn't putting up Christmas, but I was putting up, I call it transitional holiday. So it's not quite
Fall.
Christmas, but it is fall leaning into winter. and I put on like Christmas songs and I was like, I just need to feel a little bit better for a few hours. And like I puttered around my house because I actually had free time. So we all could use a little hug. Let's get into some warm, soothing questions from the holiday hot tub.
Holiday hot tub is so good. When's the last time you were like in a tub?
Recently.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess you have a nice tub, so it's different. I keep thinking, should I scrub mine up and curl up in there? But I don't think it's worth it.
You definitely should. Although it is a lot of water. And after 10 minutes, you're like, okay, I don't understand people that are like, I watch a movie, I eat my dinner.
Yeah, those TikToks where they set up a little tray and they put a candle.
Well, it's just the
like,
setup.
How many hours are you going to sit in there for? I'm not doing 30 minutes of work to sit in there for 5 minutes.
Well, the answer is 0. Those people aren't actually getting in the tub. It's just setting it up.
You think they're really not even getting in?
1,000%, Emily.
I was hoping they were at least doubling up.
No, they just dump all that water out along with all their Shein bath products and bullshit Tree Hut body scrubs made of propofol and fucking cobalt. Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Holiday edition question. Coming in hot with a food dilemma, because that's what the holidays are for.
Oh, I love it.
Every year I go to my mom and stepdad's house for the holidays, but I absolutely can't stand eating most of the food that's prepared, aside from a few sides. There's something I love about this. For context, they live in a different part of the state, and the meals are typically large portions loaded with dairy, butter, and salt.
Yes.
Which always upsets my stomach. On top of that,
come on.
they make such big batches of food that it sits out for hours while they're still cooking. So I'm not sure if it's being handled properly. Not sure if my stepdad washes his hands frequently while cooking. My mom also doesn't have a dishwasher, so everything is hand washed. And I'm a bit skeptical about the cleanliness of the silverware and plates. Given that this is a Midwest gathering, if I don't eat the food, she gets really offended. How do I navigate this without hurting anyone's feelings or making myself sick? Happy holidays.
The food is fine. The food sitting out is fine. We have this fear in America that like if my food sits out, if I put it in the fridge for more than a day, is it going bad? When you go to Asia, when you go to Europe, food is out. People are not getting E. coli. Like food is out. That's what I always say. The food is out. You go here, everything, I've talked about this, wrapped in a plastic thing, sterilized with a biohazard thing. Muffins are out. Croissants are out. Hot food is out. Tapas are out. Chiquete is out. So don't worry about that. I think you're kind of piling on. The lack of a dishwasher, look, people have gotten by for thousands of years without dishwashers. I think if you want to see a change, be the change. And you get in there, you're like, I am in charge of cleaning this year. I am in charge of dishes. Do the wash. Be like, I want to help. It's easy to sit back and criticize when you're not the one hosting. And Lord knows I have been to houses where you're just like, oh, is that clean? Whatever. You don't want to get sick. It's less that you're afraid of getting sick. You actually don't want to be grossed out.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
It's grossing you out.
The salt, the butter, like, unfortunately, that's what Thanksgiving is. And you're in the Midwest. You also have the option to just eat a little bit. Nobody is getting sick off of one scoop of buttery, salty mashed potatoes. So you control how much you eat. And if your mom asks, be like, I already had some. Like, be like, I had a plate.
You
don't need to worry about that.
I wonder if you can bring some like green beans or salad that no one else is going to touch, or if she'll be offended.
The offending thing is ridiculous. You know, what your mom wants to know is that you appreciate all the effort. So maybe you start out the day by being like, I just want to let you know, you guys cook a lot every year, and I really appreciate that you're having me, and I want to help with the dishes. And she will be elated. You'll never see your mom horny, or she'll be like, oh my God, I put yourself in charge of that.
Why would you say that to someone about their mom?
Just to upset you. And that's it. Rather than, you know, and I know you're going to be like, I do help out. You are in charge of the dish station. Clean them up, you know, stack them up, get them all ready for them.
Yeah.
That's it.
Sounds good to me.
But if you've never gotten sick before and no one's getting sick and they've been doing it forever, I think you're fine.
Yeah.
I think you're just like a little annoyed and grossed out. And I get it. But also just go out and like eat a bunch of regular food and then come in and be like, I'm so full. Your mom wants you to just know that you're appreciating it and you try it. You can at least try it. Little bite.
Just
little
a
bite. Little bite.
All right.
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
Because Noah's a chef, obviously he makes a ton of food and we don't subscribe to like, give the kid only dino bites. Like we make Sierra eat everything that we eat. And the rule is you don't have to like it, but you have to try it.
Mm-hmm.
She's always got to try it. And the other day I let her have a piece of her Halloween candy and it was an Airhead and she's licking it and licking it. She goes, do you want some? And I said, thank you so much for offering, but I'm okay. And she goes, you don't have to like it, but you have to try it. So I did. And I licked that wet Airhead. Ugh.
Aren't you supposed to chew it? Is it supposed to just be licked?
Yeah, she's got little baby teeth. Yeah, you're supposed to lick it. And I was also like, you think I never had an Airhead? I'm the queen of Airheads. I fucking invented them.
What's her tooth situation?
Got all 58 teeth.
It's enough to chew an Airhead?
She didn't know. And I wasn't going to tell her.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it lasts a lot longer if she's just licking at it.
Lasted so long, we still had half left over. We threw it away. And we didn't tell her.
Can she eat, no, I have important questions about your children's teeth. Can she eat like a lollipop, or is she little enough that they can still like choke on it?
Anyone can choke on anything at any time. She doesn't get candy, but if she has a lollipop, we'll give her a couple licks and be like, we're done. Like, I'm not giving her a lollipop.
Do you remember the ones you'd get at like a bank where the stick was soft? So if you like fell, it wouldn't impale the back of your throat, but the stick would get like wet. The soft loop that would get wet. Oh, what a strange memory.
All being a parent is envisioning 50 ways that your kid can die from every single action they take, step they take, thing that they do.
It's dangerous out there.
It's real rough in these lollipop hills.
Iliza, I am such a fan of you and Emily and have been listening to the pod for what seems like my adult life. It's been so fun watching you master your craft over the last years. My friend and I had such a great time watching you live in Boise. So, I'm 32, married for 14 years, and live about 3 hours away from my family. And by family, in quotes, I mean the cast of a soap opera that no one asked for. Long story short, my dad has bipolar disorder, is in poor health, and my mom has ran the show since I can remember. I've got 3 siblings, one of whom is a total nightmare, so I've cut her out like a bad haircut. The others are fine, but they're a decade older, so we've never had a normal sibling bond. My younger brother has drug problems and a sociopath diagnosis. His birth mom did as well. So for the sake of my kids, 12 and 7, I've kept the contact minimal. My family doesn't check in, doesn't care, and I'm just out here trying to live my best life with minimal drama. So Thanksgiving is coming up, and here's where things get spicy. I told my mom we'd come for dessert on Friday after the holiday, but we're skipping the big family Thanksgiving. Why? Because I can't handle the forced happy family act. I called and let her know our plans, and then I repeated myself multiple times respectfully how we decided to stop by Friday for dessert so she can see the kids. My mom managed to send me 6 follow-up texts, including one where she's like, your siblings miss you and want to see you. Then she tries to manipulate me with a photographer to get family photos taken on Thanksgiving. When I didn't respond, she followed up with, it would really be the best Christmas present you could give your dad and I. Now here's the kicker. We're spending Thanksgiving with my in-laws who live in the same town as my family, 3 blocks away to be exact. They actually like me, and it's genuinely peaceful there, but my mom just doesn't get it. To top it off, after my "we're not coming on Thursday" call, she texted my 12-year-old daughter, who, by the way, immediately asked, "Are you and Grandma fighting again?" Because the only time Grandma reaches out is when she's unhappy with me. She hadn't even checked in with her own granddaughter for over 6 months. The whole thing is like a bad sitcom. So here's my question. Do I stick to my guns and keep my boundaries? Or do I cave and pop in for 30 minutes praying she doesn't pull any grandma guilt tricks on my kids? Because I swear she's got a PhD in manipulation. When is it okay to just hit the eject button on family drama for good, especially when it's affecting your kids? Help, I'm drowning in family dysfunction. I could use some advice on how to navigate this holiday circus without getting tangled in the emotional web.
Your mom is all alone. Now, I think you think that you know what I'm going to say, but you don't. Your mom is all alone. The dad has his issues. The siblings seem like nightmares. And the two that you could bond with are so much older, you don't have it. I would, if I were you, work on getting a better bond with those older siblings. I would reach out and be like, hey, you guys, like, I mean, look, your kids are old. It's not like you just had these kids, but those people seem like your best bet in terms of normalcy. After your parents are gone and you don't really have time for the little brother who's got his own issues. I can appreciate what your mom is saying. I think it's your mom reaching out to be like, I just like, you're the one that I care about. Like, you're the only normal one, whatever. You have made plans with your in-laws who are also your family too now. You made the plans. Tell your mom, we can totally do that family picture. We're going to come for dessert. So let's do that. And we'll hang out for an hour. It's not going to kill you to go for an hour. You can spend like 2 o'clock to 5 o'clock. You know, you can spend like Thanksgiving is an all afternoon thing with the other family and then go over there and it might surprise you. I don't love the word boundary, but like stick to it because you already said you were going to the other people's house and just be like, we will be over there. What time do you want us there for the photographer and dessert? That's it. You don't have to make a big deal about it. You already know what you're dealing with. That's it. What are you going to tell your in-laws? Like, oh, now we're not coming?
Yeah.
Plan for it.
Well, so you're going for dessert and you're saying they're going to do a photographer. I would say you agree to X time to X time, right? It's like if you can get the photographer there, that, or if they say the photographer is coming at this time. But I think
that's what I just said.
But I think it's not about a boundary. It's just about like, it doesn't need to be as we're setting boundaries. It's just.
I said that. I said I don't like the word boundary. I just said this and you're just reiterating because you weren't listening to me. You say, we already committed to so-and-so, to our in-laws, but we would love to come for dessert. Mom, I told you this and I would love to take the picture with you. So we'll come for dessert and we'll stay for about an hour. What time works for you? That's it.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to find the Thanksgiving ones. I don't know. I feel like a lot of the political Thanksgiving ones are kind of like, we've done enough political stuff, but.
No more political. Here's the thing, folks. Because I care about our society, I offer up things about hope or who I voted for. But ultimately, all it does is alienate people. And while it does help some people, I'm not running for office. So I don't need anybody to agree with me on my very specific political opinions. And the answer is, I don't like either side.
Yeah, I think also it's like tough to say, we don't want to say, oh, we're not political here, because that feels not irresponsible, but just like stupid to be like, we're never going to talk about politics on the show. Obviously we are, we're like human beings, but also I think this show is to an extent escapism.
It's an escape.
So
it's an escape.
We try to balance.
And by the way, if you think me being a Jewish person means that I hate other people, you're bigoted and insane. If you think me thinking Israel, like every other country, has the right to exist and defend itself, if that's a problem, you are uneducated. We all know that gay lives and trans lives and all these things matter and the planet matters. And we all know that a lot of liberal people are annoying and a lot of conservative people are crazy. And here we are on our own little sane island in the middle. And if you say anything wrong, people lose their minds. So
I do also think this is a show where we don't all agree. And that's okay. Like, this is not, the listeners are not really super one way or the other on everything.
I think we're all kind of in the middle. I think we're all like, yeah, that makes sense. And so I just, we're here for the fun. We're here for the Thanksgiving. And if you're listening to this episode, Thanksgiving is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And I will have made it safely across the country with 2 children under 3, plus a 2-hour car ride to my mom's house in Florida.
Ooh.
I can't think of holiday travel without thinking about Home Alone.
I can't think of it without thinking of Home for the Holidays.
Love that movie. Fucking
And when Holly
incredible
Hunter's
movie.
on the plane and that woman keeps talking to her. And also when she has to drive her daughter is like, I'm going to have sex with my boyfriend, Mom, when she gets out at the airport. I'm like, shut up, Claire Danes.
And you just don't like that Claire's having sex with a man. And
I'm like, be gay, Claire Danes.
Holly Hunter, she's next to the lady who's like, my son sells suits in Akron, Ohio. He's an idiot. She's eating a salted egg and like brown chicken. I remember.
But also Holly Hunter's like coughing up a lung. And so it's like, I wouldn't want to sit next to her on the plane either.
I've been both of those women. It's one of the greatest holiday movies and one of the few holiday movies that's about a woman.
And Robert Downey Jr. is gay.
Oh,
So someone is
he's
gay.
so incredible. Yeah,
He's
there you go.
so good in it. And
He's so
Bancroft.
great.
Oh, great film. If you haven't seen Home for the Holidays, it's a Thanksgiving film. It's
You
great.
gotta see
Watch
it, folks. Uh-huh.
This is where our interests intersect. Holly Hunter.
Just at Robert Downey Jr. being gay. And then we just
with this little
ping pong
hair.
back off each other.
All right, I'll ask you another holiday question. Dear
Wait.
Eliza.
Do you want to hear something scandalous?
Yeah?
Tian Fu was not invited to Thanksgiving. My mom thinks, and so we had to rehome her for Thanksgiving. So shout out to my mother-in-law who has agreed to move her Thanksgiving plans to shelter my really protective, very yappy but tender baby dog.
Well, because your mom has like a little dog as well, right?
Yeah, and it's just we'll have the kids, and if the kids serve, then the dog. Tian Fu's very protective over herself and any noise she hears. So we can't have that. We can't have that barking.
Yeah.
She's
that's fair.
ungovernable. Okay.
She is. Dear Eliza and Emily, can you please help me out with this holiday conundrum? Because I feel like I'm stuck in a Hallmark movie gone wrong. I'm a full-time working mom of 4, ages 8, 7, and 4-year-old twins. Ooh, managing a busy household with 2 jobs on the side and 2 dogs.
What?
My wife also works
What kind of
full-time.
dog? Oh, okay.
They're getting all this done because they're gay.
I was going to say, that's why
Just
you
like
got 2
Robert
dogs,
Downey
because you got a
Jr.
wife.
Yeah. My wife also works full-time. We live near Montreal, and together we're doing our best to hold down the fort. We're raising our kids solo without family nearby to lend a hand. Enter my mother-in-law, who we will affectionately call Popcorn. She's one of 18
I love
siblings. I knew you would. They're figuring you out. She's one of 18 siblings. Yes, you read that right. 18, though I believe they are down to 10. What do you mean you believe? You don't know who else dead?
Oh, no. It's a lot to keep up with.
Anywho, Popcorn used to live about 6 hours away and would visit us a couple times a year, usually staying for 3 to 4 days at a time. She had originally planned to move closer to us after retiring, but ultimately decided to relocate near the rest of her family in Ontario, which is about 10 hours away from us. Popcorn's sister, whom we'll call Bolda, is the glue of this sprawling family tree. She hosts the major holidays, decorates like she's auditioning for National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, and relays all family news with the efficiency of a corporate memo. Here's the issue. Every year, the expectation is that we pack up our 4 small kids and 2 dogs, trek 10 hours each way, and spend about a week over Christmas at Bolda's house. While the decorations are dazzling and the kids enjoy their gifts, the trip is exhausting. And honestly, the visit tends to fall flat. Once the big Christmas dinner is over, there's nothing for the kids to do. No activities, no other kids their age to play with. Just a lot of basement cartoons and general boredom.
Fuck yeah.
Meanwhile, back home, we're spoiled with sledding,
Hold on.
skating. Yeah.
First of all, childhood is founded on basement cartoons and boredom. So let's not underestimate
I know,
the power of that.
Let them figure it out. But here's what they got back home. Back home, we are spoiled with sledding, skating, local shows, and play dates. It's a logistical nightmare for us to make this trip every year. And I can't help but think, why can't they come to us? They are retired. They have time, and there's plenty of fun to be had here for both them and the kids. Every time I suggest it, the idea seems to disappear into the ether like a Christmas wish to Santa that never quite reaches the North Pole. So here's my question. How do I balance my desire for my kids to build memories with extended family with the reality that this current setup just isn't working for us? Feels like this might just be a case of older people being set in their ways. What would you do? Sincerely, tired mom with too many suitcases, aka Ashley.
Bolda is Popcorn, who is your grandma.
No, Popcorn and Bolda are 2 different people.
No, I know. I was
Oh.
I was saying something.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I did
Very
cut you
snippy
off
today.
quickly.
Popcorn is your grandma. Bolda is grandma's sister. Bolda is your aunt, is your great aunt. Right?
Popcorn is mother-in-law.
Okay, fine. But still
So-
your grandma. So it's someone's mom.
Mother,
It's your wife's
not
mom.
grandma.
Sorry, it's your aunt. Bolda is your aunt. Popcorn's sister is Bolda.
Yes.
Right. It is harder to travel when you're older. You sound exhausted, and the holidays are an exhausting thing. This is this person's time to shine. So they make it really fun, and this is the best that they can do. Holidays are also meant to be a little bit exhausting and a little uncomfortable, but I think you are well within your right to say, we just cannot make it work this year. We're so tired. We can't make the trip. Is there a version where you can buy a plane ticket for Bolda? Some people like to orchestrate and be in charge. What does Popcorn say? Is Popcorn like, I'll just go wherever? Or was it
Yeah.
always Bolda's the one that does it?
Bolda's the one that keeps everyone together. So I think it's like Bolda's word goes.
Yeah, I hear that. So, I mean, are you the only ones there or are other family members there?
Sounds like there's no one else with kids. So it sounds like, let's see if there was any context I missed. 6 hour, so lives 10 hours away.
A drive? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But it sounds like Popcorn and Bolda live 10 hours away, but it sounds like it's no one else, no kids, like it's just them.
On the one hand, people should help you because you're the one with kids and that is harder. It's more people to move. It's more expensive. She may not be able to travel, or
10
she's
hour
just
drive
used
for
to
an older
having.
person is hard.
Well, how about a flight? There are flights within, you're going to have to take Air Canada or like WestJet. So I'm sorry for that. But I do think it's okay to say we'd really love to host everyone this year and we'd really love to fly you in. She may be set in her ways, but you've done it a lot. You've brought the kids. You've done it every year. It's okay to shake up a holiday tradition. And if she can't make it, then that's a bummer, but you still have your family. I don't want to hear that there's nothing for the kids to do. They have each other. There's always games. Like, kids don't need everything all at once all the time. Like, a lot of fun is born out of boredom and creativity and stuff like that. But if you cannot make it happen this year, see if Popcorn's on board. Because, that's who you really want is your mother-in-law. And try to just be like, this year we need a break. And that's it.
Well,
That's it. She should understand that.
But like your wife is like, do you have to see Popcorn every year? Like, what's up with your wife? Have your wife tell Popcorn, like, we got 2 kids or 4 kids, 2 dogs. We're tired.
That's it. It's just too much this year. We would love to, for a change, get a chance to host everyone. Popcorn, we'd love to have you. Bolda, we would love, of course, to have you if you guys can make that work. But this year, you might just also need a break, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's it. People need to be flexible. These things where holiday traditions are held holiest above all. It's like you're exhausted, and you're the ones doing it. What the kids are going to look back on and remember are not things you can control. They might look back and be like, we love those 5-hour car rides and the best memories are created, and not remember at all the iPads they got. You never know. So give yourselves a break this year.
Yeah.
But be kind to Bolda. Like, honor that she's done that. Be like, we'd love to have you this year. Maybe we can fly you out. Try to make it easier for her.
I need to share with the people, and we'll see if I can pull a clip of this. I think of you, Iliza, as like chic. Like, I think of you as just cool.
I'm
like
eating.
You got style, but you are currently like sucking ribs off your finger as you answer. It's so funny. It's so like you're so together, and you do look like a Flintstone.
I contain multitudes. And in this moment, I am my mother, who owns like fine furs and lovely diamonds, but also will house a McDonald's breakfast burrito.
But your mom is not
like
going to
nobody's
eat
business.
ribs.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
She'll eat
Ronnie?
1 rib.
She'll eat. I need to eat right now because I have a very
I know you have a
important
call.
meeting.
I know.
No, it's a real meeting, and I still have to dry my hair, but I want to do this episode
I know.
because I can't do it tomorrow because I'm playing Spokane, and then I'm going to be, you will have already seen this, I will have done San Francisco, and then I got to fly to Miami. This was the only time.
I know.
And I had to
I
have a
just
rib.
love, it's like, it's such an intense food to like eat on a camera. It's just very funny because it is like a cartoon. Like
My
a
husband always
cartoon
says-
dog or cat.
You want to see if she's the right girl, bring her on a first date to eat ribs. And I was like, do not do that. No one wants to do that.
Do you want a Thanksgiving confession real quick that I will read?
Let's do a Thanksgiving confession. Yeah, I would love it. I'd love a turkey confession.
My ex-boyfriend and I used to skip family Thanksgiving every year. We both had divorced parents who all lived nearby but hated each other. Each year, we would tell each of our own parents that we were somewhere else. And in real life, would stay home all Thanksgiving weekend watching movies and make our own Thanksgiving for two with our favorite dishes: green bean casserole, mashed potatoes, and pumpkin pie. My ex was vegetarian, so I was not about to make a whole damn turkey for myself. So they lied to, 8 parents? We both had divorced parents who lived nearby. Okay, so 4 parents. And just stayed home and hid. That's my dream.
I love it. Never tell them, and I'll tell you why. Because what you don't want, like you love the deliciousness, never confess it, because then they'll be like, oh, well, you could have just said that. That's fine. And then it's like not sexy. You're like, oh.
Yeah.
Top of the cob.
Top of the cob.
Taste the top with a cob. We're doing it right every day. You just take a bite, top of the cob.
All right, I'll do my bottom.
Oh, okay.
My bottom is all year getting excited for holiday parties and the fantasy of dressing up and, being like, I've got my tights, do I have the right kind of skirt? And then when the actual party comes, being like, I'm too tired to do this. Like, it's the fantasy of the fantasy. And then actually executing it, you're like, I don't have time to flat iron my hair. Like, I'll just throw on some black pants. And I think that's not just the holidays, but that's everything. You're like, I'm going to look amazing. And then it's like, oh, I gotta put these heels on. It's the action itself is more exhausting and never as fun. When you're sick or when you're in the middle of the summer, you're like, and during Christmas, I'm going to wear a chic tartan jumper. And then you get to it, you're like, I just put on jeans.
Yeah, absolutely.
Go downstairs. What's yours?
Mine is, I've tried to transition into white sweaters. This is purple, but white sweaters instead of black so that they are not fully thick with visible cat hair.
Sure.
Right?
They're already made of cat hair, but yeah.
They're made of cat hair, but you can't see on white. But I'm not an animal, but I don't think I have a single white sweater without like one little drop of food on it. So I just bought some Tide pens to hopefully help myself out. But it's just like, I'm like, why is there just one? It's not like big spills. It's just like one drop of an oil or something on every white sweater I own.
There's so much oil. White sweaters are not for women like us, even though you and I are nothing alike. It's for one specific type of woman. She's very thin. She doesn't have a great personality, but people seem to flock to her. And she doesn't make a lot of movements, nor does she eat a lot.
It's very baggy on her.
Yeah, only certain types of women can do it. And it's a genetic thing. And we just don't have those genetics. I get it. But the oil, I'm like, when did I even have oil? Why is there a stain here?
Why is there one little green drop on here that's sprayed? It's like, again, if it was a big thing of spaghetti sauce, it's like, all right, I messed up. But this is like, I think someone else did this.
You're like, that I could wear. Yeah. A Tide pen and a shout wipe. I keep them in my bag when I travel. Never know. Fan bottom. This one spoke to me because it happened to me. And also this person shared, I was the fight me about not wanting to watch video podcasts. And here I am writing in after watching your first web show. Bravo. But to the bottom, when you get groceries delivered and they can't fulfill the one item that you really needed for a recipe, so then you still have to go to the store in person or risk going to a second delivery service. This literally happened to me yesterday. So I'm mad for our person. It's secondary grocery. Even I have an assistant who's great, but even sending someone else to grab something for you almost never works out. And the grocery, like, I'm like, I guess you just don't care what you get. Like the grocery delivery thing is like in a pinch and you just need generic brands, whatever. But
it's stressful. I remember when I would get stuff for you and you'd be like, I need specifically Kerrygold butter. And I'm like, I don't know where or what that is. Like,
you don't know what that is.
Now I know, but just like specific. And I remember like if I'd be picking up something for you at CVS, like a specific mascara or whatever, you'd send me a picture. You're great. You'd be like, here's a picture of the box of the item. But I'd be at the store like looking back and forth like, Okay, is this the one? Okay, I think it matches like so as though I'm gonna get back and it's like, no. But so I could not do grocery delivery, but I am furious when they're like, no, we don't have that one thing.
No, it definitely hasn't been perfected. It should just be grocery stores have a list of what they have. You go and you click, they pull it and you're done. But yeah, but joke's on you for being a consumer of anything techie and oversized. Top of the cob.
Top of the cob. I got my yard done. Not only did I get it done,
I saw that. It looks great.
It's all like native plants and stuff that all the critters are going to like. It's not a lawn, so I'm not going to have to maintain it. I mean, I have to water what's out there, especially right now, which I have to keep everything alive. But it's so exciting because it's like when you're trying to find someone to do a service and you find a bunch of chumps. My dad found a guy in his neighborhood whose yard he liked. He asked who did it. And the guy was like, oh, my son. And he's like, does he do other yards? So this nice man came, did my yard, and is going to be like building his own business. And he did such a good job and did it in one day and was like very polite to all my neighbors who came to ask questions about what he was doing. And
well, yeah, he's trying to build a business. He's not going to be like, fuck off. I don't need it.
Totally. But it was just like, it was a perfect, not only does my lawn look gorgeous, but it was like a very easy customer service experience, which is nice.
I was surprised to see what your neighborhood looked like. In my mind, it was much more rural, like a lot less landscaping, a lot of like free lawns and like garbage cans perennially out. And it's a lovely neighborhood.
It's like a little kind of suburban enclave, but a lot of trees. It's not like a new build. Everything here was built in the 80s, but we're actually right next to the county that is in 1 square mile, the largest immigrant population in 1 square mile.
What immigrant?
Like, for everybody. Like, it's just, there's like a documentary about it.
I'm going to need some stats on that. Okay.
Okay. But it's a nice area. It's like there's a lot of different stuff going on. So, okay. Do you want to do yours or do you want a fan?
Do the fan and then I'll do mine.
Okay. We have one from Patreon, Vero. It's the top of the cob. I assume they wrote it like that. My fan top is when it's cold and rainy, but you're luxuriating at home on the couch, all cozied out with a soft blanket and socks and a fun new herbal tea. So much hygge. But TBH, my ultimate fan top is your podcast. I'm so grateful to you all. Thank you. Well, thank you.
Imagine being in a cozy blanket and a fun herbal tea, if that's not an oxymoron, while listening to the pod. Because notice they didn't cite any sort of entertainment. There's no TV, there's no book.
They're sitting on a couch staring at the wall, just like, yes, perfect.
I love it. I love that. Yeah, when you're cozy inside and it's rainy outside. That was such a generic, like, I love being cozy too.
Okay, wait, very important. Very important. My neighborhood, I just got an alert that there was a post in my neighborhood Facebook group. There's a loose goat.
You got to get out there, Emily.
I got to go get it.
You got to go. Okay,
we got to wrap this up.
My top of the cob is every year I make this Christmas candy, this holiday candy. I make honeycomb candy. Some people call it sponge candy. And I just smash it into shards. I dip it in chocolate and I give it out. And it's really sweet. It's really good. This year I wanted to make a ton because I have a lot of people to give gifts to. And I was like, well, what can I make? And so I was talking to Noah about it. There's this Jewish thing called matzah crack. I hate the word crack. I think people use too much. Like, I love it like crack. It's my peppermint crack and crack. It's crack because it actually cracks, not because it's addictive. But, it's salted matzah with butter, toffee, and then chocolate. So it's like a toffee, but there's matzah.
I didn't know it was because it cracked.
I'm guessing that's what it is.
That
I just
makes
think it's like
more
a generic.
sense. Yeah,
it's such a suburban, like, it's my minty meth. We test. So Noah had the idea for eggnog matzah. So it would be like an eggnog layer, which would be white chocolate. And so last night we did a recipe test. So it's getting there, but he's helping
developing this recipe. He's using
with me.
That's
with
so
me.
fun with you. Okay, it's a
fun.
collab.
Because it's like, is it white chocolate? Do you put the spices in? Do you put them on top? What about a layer? So we're doing recipe tests.
Fun, because I don't know if people understand. Like, yeah, Noah's a chef, and but it's like he developed. Like, there's a science to it.
There's a science to it because
mastered.
Do you use a double boiler? Do you use the microwave? And so there's just like a lot of things that I didn't think about. We did a test batch, and while it's not perfect, it is delicious, and you've never had anything like it, and it blends Christmas and Hanukkah. And I'm very excited for my eggnog matzah.
Oh, that's nice.
Folks, a mindful and thoughtful Thanksgiving. Yes, we know the story is painful, but we can still take it as a time to be grateful for what we have with each other. We don't have to get too deep into it. And if you don't like Thanksgiving, you can always watch the Westminster Kennel Club dog show, which airs right after the Thanksgiving parade. I hope that in the craziness that has been this year, it offers you some solace to know that I am thankful for you. And we'll see you guys. I think the next gig is December 6th at the Thunder Valley Casino and Resort in Lincoln. And then, hey, if you live in Japan, I will be at Shibuya Pleasure, December 17th, following my shows with the USO in Okinawa. So proud and excited to be coming back, but more on that when we come back next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
The first ever Kia K4 seamlessly combines bold style and advanced tech. With striking star map LED headlights and an available panoramic display, the Kia K4 delivers design and function. The available surround view and blind spot view monitors can help provide added confidence. Plus, Sirius XM comes standard, bringing you closer to what you love. The Kia K4 balances aesthetics and innovation. Learn more at kia.com/K4. Surround view and blind spot view monitors may not detect all objects around or behind the vehicle.
Need turkey tips? Our Butterball Turkey Talk line is open. We'll help with what's on the table so you can focus on those around it. Call 1-800-BUTTERBALL or text 844-877-3456. Butterball. Today, we turkey.